It's Saturday night. And no, this is not Donald Trump. You're on the wrong channel. All right. Let's see if we all get here. If we can see me, if anybody beats Jacob today. I don't see me on the screen yet. Here I come. All right, I see me. Y'all see me. There we go. Jacob says 5x5. Good deal. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday night. So, guess I will be competing with the true president tonight in his speech, but hopefully somebody watches him and catches me on the replay. I guess that would be the priority schedule I'd look at, but I'm here anyway. So, greetings to all. See all the mods are in here. So, Jacob, Robert, Lucky Dame, and North Shore, glad to see you. North Shore, I asked you a question about your sauerkraut video in your comments there, and I loved the video. North Shore put up a great video this afternoon on how to make easy sauerkraut. So if anybody hasn't checked that out, go check it out, because it's about the simplest way I've ever seen to make sauerkraut. So that'll work there. But I want to know how to store it. So, I guess I'll start off with a couple of things here. Remember when good old Potato Joe promised in his campaign that the middle class wouldn't get hit with tax hikes, that he was only going to raise taxes on the 1%? Yeah, well, no better way to fight inflation than to, hey, let's just raise taxes on people. Anybody, a small business owner, have a side gig, 1099 job? We'll find out this week, but your taxes are going up. So nothing like adding insult to injury this week if Congress passes this tax hike that they want to raise the personal income tax level. So if you are a small business owner, you are a 1099 employee, you have a side gig, whatever it is, guess what? Your taxes are going up. Thanks, Joe. Nothing like making this year that much more enjoyable. Yeah. Okay. This one I'm sure is going to come up. You're going to see something somewhere. Somebody's going to completely blow it out of proportion. I can guarantee it, because it seems to always happen. Remember a couple of weeks back when everybody was talking about Executive Order 83 from the Tennessee governor, and the world was blowing up, and everybody was saying, oh my God, they're going to come at you with guns, and, Peter, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that greatly. But if you remember all that, the people just freaking out about that. Well, guess what? The Tennessee governor today called up 550 National Guardsmen. Are you freaked out yet? Want to guess who they were? Doctors and nurses and medics, just like I said, the EO said. Here's what the issue is, guys. Okay, and I kind of hinted at this a little bit in the video this afternoon of Stick It to the Man. We all know that doctors, nurses, everybody, well, let's put it this way. A lot of companies are starting to mandate, everybody's favorite arm candy. And a lot of people are saying, well, if it's my job or that, take your job and shove it, okay? Well, that's happened a lot in the medical community. I mean, we saw that whole story down with Methodist Hospital down in Houston, and 140 or 170, whatever, nurses lost their jobs, do whatever. So hospitals, nursing care facilities, and everything like that are very short-handed. So what do they have the option to do? Call up the National Guard and say, we need the medical professionals to come in and fill in for the civilian medical professionals that we're shorthanded on. That's what's going on, guys. Okay. So, I know this happened in Tennessee. I saw there was a deal out of Oregon where they called in the National Guard. Same issue there. Now, this just goes to prove what we've been talking about, okay? Get woke, go broke. And Brandy, thank you for the super chat. First cup of coffee, it's 9 o'clock at night. I hope to God you were in Europe or Australia or something and it's morning. But the get woke, go broke. And I mean, this is the thing. Companies are going to start mandating everything. And come Monday morning, it's feasible. The rumor has it that the FDA is going to approve Pfizer. So at that point, you know damn well that a lot of companies are going to jump on board and say, okay, now that it's approved, everybody's got to get it. And there's going to be a lot of employees that say, no, I don't. I'm not. Well, you have to. Then I don't work here anymore. I think, personal opinion, okay, and a few of you guys said on the comment today, this will, this, like I said, garage sale suggestion idea would only work for a short time. I only think it's going to need to work for a short time because eventually what's going to happen is employers are going to start screaming, going, we already had a hard time getting employees and now we can't get them even worse. So it's either do something or we're out of business. And so you're going to start seeing the federal government go, well, that industry will get an exemption. Well, that company will get an exemption. Because if it comes to a point where they start saying, like a lot of us have talked about, and we talked about today, that companies have to check you at the door and, you're not allowed in if you haven't had it. What are the numbers right now? 60% have and 40% haven't, somewhere thereabouts. Okay. I mean, maybe it's 65-35. I'm not sure. But imagine walking into the board of directors or a shareholders meeting of Walmart and saying, all right, guys, could you handle losing 35 to 40% of your customer base in one day? They're going to go, of course not. Okay, well, if this happens, you're going to, because that's how many people can't shop there anymore. Now, some companies aren't going to give a rat's ass, like Amazon. They're like, well, we'll deliver to anybody. We don't care. Walmart has their delivery service too, but the crux of their money still comes from, in-store bricks and mortar shopping. Grocery stores, gas stations. I mean, you think about it. Everybody's like, oh, online is everything. I can't go fill up my car with gas online. I can't get the oil changed online. Okay. I mean, there's a whole lot of things actually where I live, I couldn't buy my groceries online. Okay. A lot of people can. You can get these, I forget what the company's called that delivers groceries, but some of the stores have their own delivery service. But there's a lot of things that you can't do online. I can't get my hair cut online. Can't go to the dentist online. So there's going to be businesses that are going to have to stay open. And those are the ones that are going to go, we need an exemption here. Otherwise we're out of business. So, pay close attention to stuff like that. That's how we're going to push back here. And, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Let's just say that, all these great intentions they think they have, again, can't think past here, that never once does the consequence to their actions ever come through in a thought process. But okay, so that's my theory on that one. Agree with me, don't agree with me. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, just like you're entitled to yours. Okay. Tomato seeds all went out this morning straight to the post office. That whole stack of envelopes I had, filled them all yesterday, took them to the post office first thing this morning. They're out. While I was at the post office, there were half a dozen more envelopes. I brought those home. Fortunately on those, everybody had put stamps, so I was just able to fill those at home, stick them in my mailbox, and the mailman picked them up today, and those are off and running. Eduardo, thank you for the super chat. So those came out. So I am completely caught up with tomato seeds. If somebody still wants them, I still have some. I don't have a ton, okay? And we're getting to the end of tomato season here. My plants are starting to die back and everything. But I can probably, I mean, I don't know if there's 20 more or something like that. I can probably fill those. Obviously, I've got to save some tomato seeds for me. Don't need to save a ton because, like I told you, the plants are pretty prolific. I mean, we planted 10, I think, crim plants and probably got 100 pounds of tomatoes out of it. So, doing pretty good there. But those have all been sent to all of you who helped the cause, I guess, if you will, sent something for it. Thank you. A few of you guys sent me some seeds. I got somebody sent me a type of tomato seeds they have. Somebody sent me some tiger melon seeds. So that was kind of cool. So I got some different things that I can try to play with next year because I never even got to plant my melons this year because I never had the time to get that garden done. And now the garden's completely overgrown with weeds. So I've got to clear that one all out and when I do it in the fall and get that one prepped again for next year. But yeah, somebody had sent me another canning funnel too, which was kind of cool. So thank you guys for everything that you sent. Mrs. P and I both greatly appreciate it. So it all helps, and you know what it all goes toward. It's all prepping. So that being that, the one question, what did you all do to prep today? Mine was, of course, yard work, but we've got, and if you guys want me to, I'll do a review on it. I don't really know if I have to, but we got our backup heat problem solved. I found and I can't compete with somebody who emailed me an hour or so ago, found a wood stove for $20 at a garage sale. That's just incredible. But I did find a indoor ventless propane heater, and I've got a gas line in the house that can be hooked to, for $200 that'll heat 1,400 square feet, which is about the size of our house. So I'm good there. I was like, oh my God, we got the heat thing. Because remember last year I tried to buy one of these things and they were out. Okay. Here it is. It's the middle of August or almost the end of August. I bought this thing and I think that there were 7 more left, not the local store. I couldn't get it at the local store. I had to get it online. They had 7 left. So if you think that you're going to take care of your heat problem in a month or so, don't count on it. So at least in that respect, I'm prepped. So my goals of the beginning of the year, my New Year's resolutions of getting something going for backup power and getting my heat taken care of, I've made some progress. I mean, y'all know I got some solar generators and I got this heat thing done. So at least I'm getting closer. Again, it's a marathon here. So, Michelle, thank you for the super chat, and you are most welcome for the videos. I would know what to do without you guys a lot of times because I have as much fun doing this and God knows learning from all of you and from all the other channels out there as you guys do. So, again, I'm just another member of the family. So I just happen to be the face that's online. So, all right. That's kind of what's going on in this squirrel cage today. Like I said, greetings to everybody. Glad all my mods are here. I will say this like I say it every week, guys. My mods are some excellent executioners. If you're here to troll, don't bother. You won't last a second. You'll make a comment. It'll get seen for 5 seconds and you won't be back. So we try to keep everything polite here, friendly, helpful. I will say this is not a conspiracy channel theory or a conspiracy theory channel. If you are looking for conversations about conspiracy theory, you're in a wrong place. Okay. We deal in reality here, prepping for true to life things, not alien invasions and the latest QAnon rumor. Okay. And no, Donald Trump is not going to be reinstated as president this week again. Okay. Doesn't mean Biden won't be, but Trump would not be the replacement. So, okay. Yes. And I know there's all sorts of stuff coming out with the, what's the guy's name, report and on ballots and everything like that. But that's, no matter what happens, guys, Trump ain't going to be reinstated as president. I'm just telling you. Okay. So anybody that believes that, sorry, take another hit on the crack pipe, and move on. You're in the wrong spot. Okay. So let's get into Q&A. Y'all know how we do this. Please put them all, if they're directed at me, put them all in caps. If they are a comment, if you're having conversations amongst yourself, and I wholeheartedly encourage that, please keep those in lowercase. It helps me keep an eye on the computer screen below me so I can answer as many of your questions as possible. I will start at the top, go through as many as I can, as quick as I can. If I don't see your comment, don't see your question, I haven't answered it in 5-10 minutes, please put it up again. If I see it a second time, I will just skip over it. So, all right, and we're running quarter after already, so let's see if we can get to the top and start off and do what we're doing here. And like I always say, nothing's off limits. God knows we've talked about everything. As long as we keep it PG-13, I'm happy. Okay, Nunya Beeswax. Great way for companies to get rid of older employees who have higher pay. Force the jab. Yep. And gee, like I said in the video today, gee, Joe, you're getting paid $20 an hour. We can hire a bunch of these Afghanis or a bunch of these southern border crossers for $7 an hour. We can get 3 of them for 1 of you. It's true. I'll agree with what you said, but you're never going to know it, because most states are at-will employment. Means a company can hire or fire you for any reason or no reason whatsoever, as long as it's not discriminatory. And, you know, the silly part is none of us were born yesterday. Even if it is completely discriminatory, it's not like they're going to go up and say, we're firing you because you're black, or we're firing you because you're Muslim. They're not going to say we're firing you for performance. Oh, okay. I mean, talk about as generic as you can get. You know, if they want to fire you, they're going to come up with a reason. And when you try to fight it and go, my performance is just as good as Joe's. Well, yeah, you were late 2 minutes back on April 7th, and we just changed our policy, and that's now a fireable offense. And it's an at-will state, and they can do that, and that's the extent of it. So, but yes, I absolutely agree with you that this is how employees, if they want to, if they're foolish enough to do it, to cull employees. But, you know, again, we know what the job market's like. I especially know what the job market's like, because that's what I do. Good luck finding replacements. Okay. All right, let's see. Peter Piper, black market, a lot of it during the shutdown. Yeah, and like I said this afternoon, that's what I see happen. I don't necessarily see it be a shutdown or a lockdown. I see it being a shutout or a lockout, okay? There's too many states that are going to go to hell with, I mean, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Missouri, you know, I mean, name them, all these states that said, we're not participating. So they're not going to be able to do a shutdown. But what they're going to do is, like they've already shown with the mandates, is companies are going to start coming up and saying, unless this, you can't come in. And so they're going to start doing shutouts. That, I think the blue states are going to do a lot of lockdowns, and the red states, you're going to see lockouts. You know, I mean, again, it's not just going to be, it could be any business, small business, you know, Joe's hardware store on the corner. If, you know, Joe says, no, it's Joe's business. He can tell anybody who, you know, we reserve the right to reserve service. Okay, that's fine. I reserve the right to spend money, or to not spend money with you. Okay, let's see. Okay, Brandy, I'm referring to your morning videos of coffee. I was going to say, coffee at this time of night, I'm never going to sleep. Okay. Scrolling. Patrice, you are most welcome for the tomato seeds. I'm glad you all are happy to get them. I'm hoping that everybody gets a great harvest out of them next year and enjoys them as much as I do. They're different, guys. They're very different than the normal tomatoes you look at, look for. I mean, you'll look at, you know, a normal tomato, the bottom, you know, just looks like a normal tomato. This one kind of looks like it's a pig's tail on the bottom. It's almost like a donut tomato. You know, very different, dark color. Everything tastes much richer than, you know, the tomatoes you get in the store. So I hope you all enjoy them. But have fun growing them. Broke Stacker, are there any laws against sending Are there any laws against sending seeds from state to state to state? There you go. You think I'd actually been drinking, and no, it's only non-alcoholic tonight. Not that I know of, and even when I went to the post office, I know the girl at the post office, and she was laughing at me. I told you the story yesterday about picking up the envelopes, and I told her exactly what was going on. I mean, she helped me last year when I was sending people chestnuts from my chestnut tree, and she was weighing them out for me as I'm giving her pounds of chestnuts. But so I told her they were all tomato seeds, and I mean, not a question whatsoever. Now, I do know there are some things that you can't send from some states. And I think I remember Danny and Wanda saying that they couldn't send, it was illegal to send sweet potato slips out of the state of Mississippi or something. So there are some, but as far as I know, there's nothing illegal about sending seeds. Okay. So, I wouldn't be sending marijuana seeds or something like that. That may cause you a problem, but tomato seeds or cucumber seeds or who knows? I mean, think of all the seed catalogs that you get in the mail, or Haas Tools or Baker Creek or Burpee or who, they're sending seeds all over the country. So I've got to think that it's not a problem. Eleanor Mustang, did I replant anything for a fall crop? I did replant my tomatoes, or my potatoes. Boy, I can't talk yet. It's still a bit too hot here for me to replace peas. I can't talk. I want to show you, if y'all think that everything is successful, guess what was a huge failure for me? Sweet potatoes. That's probably the biggest sweet potato I got. Those will end up dog food, okay? Because that's about the extent of what I have. Nothing significant whatsoever in sweet potatoes. I planted these in the garden this year, and I told Mrs. P, I said, next year I'm going back to what I know works. I'm going to plant them in straw bales again next year. So that will be the extent there. My sweet potato crop this year is a complete failure. Happens. Okay, we're all going to have stuff that succeeds, all have stuff that fails. I'm just telling you, I've told you a million times, I'm not some master gardener. Some things work, some things don't. I mean, figure this one out. My sweet potatoes, which are usually pretty damn easy to grow, failed. My celery, which is usually very difficult to grow from seed, every one of my celery plants looks awesome. Figure that one out. But I couldn't get radishes this year. Weird gardening year. Okay. Rick Huggard, hey Pinball, do you think we're not sending troops to Afghanistan because of China and Taiwan? That's a possibility. That's a good possibility, I think. The other thing is, talk about, I mean, everybody knows that everything in Afghanistan is a complete failure anyway, but talk about being absolutely murdered in the press, okay, and by the American public. Hey, you pulled out of Afghanistan. It was a complete debacle. So what did you have to do to successfully complete your pullout? You had to send troops in. Somebody explain that. I think it's just in the interest of not looking even dumber, okay? I think that might be why they might not be doing it, But again, I'm guessing, but I think the China-Taiwan thing is probably the most logical reason. Okay. Rooster, Pinball, do you not plant a fall garden? I do some, okay. I mean, it's way too early for me to plant my brassicas to retry cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, stuff like that. I mean, it's still 90 degrees here. So, yeah, I will get that. There's only certain things I can plant. I mean, you're not going to replant corn. I'm not going to get a second corn harvest or anything like that. But some things, like I said, my peas, my potatoes, those are in. I will do my my peas will actually work. Going to go in here the 1st of September because I don't get a frost until Halloween, so that should give me my 60 days that I need for peas. But yeah, my brassicas and stuff like that, which are fine with the cold weather, those will go in here in about a week or so too. But not obviously as big of a fall garden because you can't do tomatoes. And hell, we're just starting to harvest peppers. So, and just starting to harvest corn. So I've still got a lot of stuff I'm picking, let alone planting. Robert Bates, pinball, be sure to put in a couple of CO detectors at different locations in the house. CO will kill you dead. I've got one, two. There's two downstairs, and there's one in each bedroom. So there's 5 in the house. So I should be good. 5 and 1,400 square feet. I think I'm okay. Yeah, there's literally not a single room that doesn't have one. Ace Maduro, my prep for today was putting oil in my new portable generator and starting it. Good idea. Especially if you live up on the Northeast coast. And I guess Hurricane Henri is about to hammer you guys either tomorrow night or something like that. So where's it heading? Right, but almost somewhat the same path as Superstorm Sandy did, I guess, from what I saw. Somewhere thereabouts, going to hit up there, Jersey, maybe out New York, up to Rhode Island and Mass. So we'll see. So guys, if you're up there, stay safe, stay prepped, stay inside. It's like, don't go outside and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to go take pictures of hurricane. So, all right. Don't want to hear any stories. I mean, we've already lost a couple of preppers this year. I don't want to hear stories about losing other ones. Bruce Sear. Okay, speaking of, filled up 2 40-pound propane tanks, getting ready for the hurricane. Good idea. Lorna, I bought more water. What are our thoughts on Orlando's water issue? I don't know about Orlando's. I saw stuff on California where they're now going to fine California farmers $10,000 for taking water out of California rivers or something like that. And I don't know, what is it? Or was it, maybe it was Orlando? I don't know. Maybe it was California too. But I saw another one where there was one area, no, I think it was LA County, said don't water your lawn because it's negative toward COVID. I was like, how the hell? They're saying because they oxygenate the water and therefore they can't use the oxygen for the COVID patients. I'm like, oh my God, this is a stretch. If watering my lawn is going to have a negative effect on COVID patients, that's okay. Somebody's really grasping at straws, trying to come up with reasons for something here. MS, how large is my propane tank underground? Mine is 500 gallons. Brandy F, we keep each other sane. We try to, okay. Sometimes we drive each other insane, but yes, that's the intent, is to try to keep each other sane as best we can. North Shore, say bye now, trolls. Good, yes, please. Bye-bye. Outdoors man, New Year's resolution, pinball for general. Time to kick ass and take my country back. No thanks. I was enlisted. I work for a living. Thank you very much. No, there ain't no way in the world I'd want that. Let's see. Old Rider, what are my thoughts about OS ammo? Oh, as of September 1st, no more Russian ammo allowed in the U.S. It was funny. I had it, believe it or not, and a lot of you guys know him, Constantine, Letters to King. I Skyped with him for about an hour this morning. Well, my morning, his late afternoon. Got to talk to Natasha and everything like that, so that was kind of nice. But we talked about that a little bit, and as his comment went, and I read the sanctions. I mean, for the most part, it's idiotic stuff. Okay, gee, there's no nuclear missile stuff going. Okay, like we have a whole lot of nuclear missile exchange with Russians anyway. But yeah, the other one about no Russian weapons and no Russian ammo. Well, the weapons part, nobody really cares. Yeah, I mean, even though, your Kalashnikovs, your AKs, were invented in the Soviet Union. I mean, the most of them that you buy now aren't made there. Okay, I mean, if you get a actual Russian-made Kalashnikov, that's rare. Okay. However, with the ammo, To me, it doesn't make a difference because I hate steel cased ammo anyway. I just find it completely filthy. I mean, shoot off one magazine of it and the whole weapon is just caked in black. What it will prevent is people getting inexpensive ammo. And so I think that might be more of the only way that the 46 administration can slow down ammo. They can come up with an excuse. Oh, these are sanctions. We're going to stop Russia from selling it. Because if they come back and say, we're going to put, Midway or Freedom or, any of the, those are the ones I use. I just know them off the top of my head. But, any of those companies, Winchester or Magnum or, pick one, any of the ammo producing companies, they start saying you can't sell it, there's going to be a freaking uproar. Okay. So the only thing I can think of is that maybe this is a way to, like we talked about ages and ages ago, restrict ammo sales, so just a thought. Again, that's just how this squirrel cage works. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my theory on it. Hillbilly Homesteader 1776. Hurricane hitting Connecticut tomorrow. Predicted up to 800,000 outages. I'm a tree guy. Power restoration. You gonna be busy, brother. God. So we're gonna hit Connecticut there. All right. Well, again, everybody up on the Northeast coast, guys, hunker down, stay safe. Look out for your neighbors. Make sure people are taken care of. I mean, we're preppers. We're good people. Okay, we got big hearts. So make sure, especially your elderly or single mom next door or something like that, make sure they're okay. Robert A., good evening. Thank you very much for all the wonderful ideas on prepping. Hell, some are mine, some are yours, everything. The whole point of being here, guys, is to share ideas. I mean, we share them in the comments. We share them in the chat here. People send me ideas. You hear me say, I don't know what, every third or fourth video. Hey, I got, the idea for this video came from so-and-so or from an email I got. They ain't all my ideas. A lot of them are from you guys. So I'm just sharing them. I'm the mouthpiece. That's it. South Colorado Stetter. If someone has a trust fund, what will happen when we go to digital currency? My guess is if we go to digital currency, okay, still I'm going to say that it's going to be a dollar for dollar exchange. A $1 is going to equal one Fed coin or whatever the hell they call it. Okay. They're not going to try to, I would assume, okay, that they're not going to try to do some hyperinflation or something like that, because then all you're going to wind up doing is start doing in minuscule bits of Bitcoin. It's like, or Fed coin, if $100 equals one Fed coin, great. I want to go to the movies and get a Coke. Okay, that'll be 4/100ths of a Fed coin, please. Yeah, they're going to have to keep it in a small enough denomination that it's usable. But my guess is it'll just be 1-to-1, and instead of getting a check each month or going to the ATM and getting cash or however you get the money from the trust fund there, it's just going to be deposited and direct deposited into your bank account, and that's going to be it. I'll give you this, guys, in regards to a cryptocurrency. Okay. I hate Bitcoin. Okay. There's no question about that. And I'm not going to change that. The digital currency, though, my concern with it isn't the fact that, we're not going to have greenbacks in our wallet, because a lot of people really don't use cash that often. A lot of people do. Okay. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of people don't. They, everything's direct deposit the money into your bank account. You get on the internet, you pay your bills, and that's it. You never see any dollars. It's just ones and zeros that are transferring around the computer world somewhere. That's it. My concern with it is the rights that are going to be taken away. Okay. And we've talked about this many times. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Jones, you've already bought 4 apples this month. We're not allowing you to buy any more apples, and so therefore your transaction's canceled. The fact that Uncle Sam can see every transaction you made, can track you around town or whatever it is, by where you bought stuff or whatever. Not that they can't do it with you on your phone or anything, but Uncle Sam doesn't need to know everything that I do. Okay. Gee, I owe my buddy $20 because he bought the beers when we went out last week. So I give him a $20 bill. Oh no, sorry. You have to get on PayPal and, FedPal and send the $20 over there. So we know that he's got, he's a friend of yours or whatever, but what does it kill? There's some people that still have, the Friday night poker game with the guys. Okay. Can you imagine sitting there playing poker, keeping a ledger the whole time? Well, you owe me 6 Bitcoin at the end of the night, or FedCoin or whatever. Think about Vegas. Okay. We get rid of the greenback, and Vegas is a dead city. Okay. How the hell are you going to do that? You might as well just play at home on a computer, because there is nothing in your face anymore that way. So, South Colorado Stetter, thank you for the super chat. But yeah, I mean, garage sale, now what? Like we talked about today. Gee, now they're going to know you sold that, onesie that your kid had outgrown or whatever it is. What are they going to do? Say, well, you know what? We see that you made $86 on your garage sale, so we're gonna sales tax you with it. So you're in Tennessee, so that'll be $7 in tax. But I didn't collect the tax. Oh, you should have collected the tax. Well, no, I'm not a tax collecting authority. Oh, but we don't care. We still want it. That's why I'm against it. Sue S. topped off the gas in the car and got ice cream to wait out the hurricane. There you go. Might as well, Amy Arsenault, I prepped for the hurricane coming up the coast. Can Mr. Heaters be used indoors? Most of them, yes. I do think they make some that are just outdoors. Check on the box. If you don't have the box anymore, check the model number. Some of them can. I believe some of them do have to be vented, but most of them, I believe, are for use indoors. But please do not use it indoors without checking to make sure first. Do not want you with carbon monoxide poisoning. Whoops. We just scrolled up. I saw Pinball, any truth to the rumor, and then disappeared. So we'll see if I can find that one. We might not be able to. Nope, I got too slow, so sorry about that one. Jay Dixon, news in California claims wildfire smoke can spread COVID. Oh, God. No, it can't. Oh, my God. Only out of California, Elizabeth Nelson, my prep today was finishing organizing prepper shelves and dry canning thanks to North Shore. Oh, awesome. Okay. Organization is key to prepping. You need to know what you got. Okay. So you can know what you need to get. Serene Acuity, any suggestions for water purification for rain barrels? Thanks. Well, I mean, if you're going to get, obviously, there's going to be a couple of step process. You're not going to try to purify all that water in the rain barrel itself, because you're never going to do that. No matter how tiny of a screen on there, you're still going to get bugs that get in there, or dust or dirt or grass clippings or God knows what. Okay. So when you're taking it out, run it through a zero water, run it through a Berkey. You can always boil it and, run it through a Brita purifier or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you're going to purify the water after you get it after you take it out of the rain barrel, just like you'd purify it if you got it out of the river, the stream, the lake, whatever it is. Just don't try to purify it in the water barrel. You'll never succeed in doing it. Elizabeth, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. Lorna, I was in the doghouse due to being late to Constantine's live. Yeah, I talked to him until it was 11 o'clock our time, and then I had to go mow my lawn, and then Mrs. P and I had to go get groceries and buy more stuff. I did find a great buy on garbage bags today, though. That was nice for the prep. So bought a whole bunch of that and a whole bunch more spices for Proper closet too. Uh, Jim Patel, Nevada water is in bad condition and the building's still going on. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, Lake Mead is what? You guys are like within 50 feet of Lake Mead, them having to shut off Hoover Dam altogether. I mean, I saw that it was Hoover Dam usually can power 450,000 households, and now at the water level, it's only 350,000 people. And they're still building houses. I mean, it's just, I saw rents in Henderson were up, what, 30% or something like that. It's, I mean, I remember living out there. Vegas is very interesting, guys. If you've ever been to Vegas and off the strip, okay, because you will see $1 million homes across the street from, for lack of a better word, the ghetto. Okay, it's really weird how the dynamic of Vegas works. A developer will buy, a square city block and put up $500,000 homes, and next door will be 1950s trailers. I don't know, pick something like that. So it's weird. It's how they do it. So never seen anything like it. Bruce Sear, what do I think of all the weaponry abandoned in Afghanistan? Okay, I'm gonna give you this. This is kind of interesting. You hear some of these pundits go, "Oh, they're talking about this. That we left Blackhawks there, and all this, and the Afghans don't know how to use it. And even if they could find mercenary pilots knew how to fly it, they don't have the parts to repair them or whatever it is." And I'm thinking to myself, are you as dumb as a box of rocks? It's not what they're doing with it. They take that Apache helicopter, that Black Hawk or whatever, they sell it to the Chinese, they sell it to the Russians, who will go reverse engineer the whole damn thing, and the Taliban's just taking the money. That's it, okay? And if they start collecting enough money, then it's like, hey, Iran, you got one of those that you can sell us? That's kind of how it's working. They're not worried about having Blackhawks and Apaches and all this sort of stuff. I mean, they run around in pickup trucks with their AK-47s and took over a country, okay? They don't need tanks and gunships. So they're fine. They'll sell the weaponry. Trump had it right when he said, you get all the people out, you blow all the stuff up, and, carpet bomb the crap out of it, and then you get the military out. That's how it should be done. But again, we have a potato in the White House, not a president. Elizabeth Nelson, do I know the true number of troops that have been sent back to Afghanistan? All I know is what the media said. I've heard 6,000. I mean, I don't know any more than that. South Colorado Stutter, same kind of question. Do I think we left the military equipment in Afghanistan for the purpose of the Taliban? No, I think it was just Biden was so stupid in how he pulled this stuff out that, it never crossed their mind, oh, gee, there's billions of dollars in there. Because I know, I've heard the stories. It's like up to 6 weeks ago, we were still sending equipment over there, But remember, what was it, in July? Biden said, oh, the Taliban's never taking over the country. Then it was, they'd never have it, maybe if they had a chance to be by the end of the year, and all of a sudden it was like, well, it's 3 days later, So they didn't see it coming. The intel either the intel was terrible, which I have a tendency to doubt, okay, because the intel is coming from boots on the ground, okay, or the Pentagon and the White House ignored it. And that's more, they got the intel, and you have all these arrogant pricks that are in Washington going, those guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. There's no way the Taliban's going to do this in 3 days. Yeah, they did. Good. Brandy, get rid of cable. Enjoy pinball. I did get rid of cable on the first of the month. I looked at Mrs. P. I said, what the hell are we paying this bill for? We haven't turned on the TV in 2 weeks. And it was like, we've now been 21 days. I don't miss it at all. If there's something I want for entertainment, which for me is mostly prepper channels or the, reading articles and talking to you guys, I'm here. Okay. That's fine. But, most of the time I'm out doing something else. If it's not one of those things, I'm working, prepping, hanging out with Mrs. P and the dogs, or doing something with pinball preparedness. JQ, rumors about FDA approval next week. Yeah. Talked about that in a couple of videos this morning. So yeah, just rumors. If it happens, it happens. And that's why we were talking about different ideas on how to be ready for that if it happens. Rooster, silver. Yeah, good point. Silver is on sale, guys. 23 and some odd change. I cannot believe it dipped this far. If you can pick up any of it while you're down here, silver is below resistance. We should see a bounce back to it. I would certainly be buying silver if you have any chance to. I know I said it shouldn't go below 25. I'm sorry, I don't have a crystal ball. I said 24 to 25, but yes, I was wrong. I will admit being wrong. It did go further. Okay, that happened. I still think this is ridiculously cheap right now for silver for this time. I mean, yeah, best time to buy it would have been 20 years ago, 5 years ago, but right now it's cheap. Avalon 2468. Taliban marking houses with daughters over 12 with black X. Oh God. Yeah, here's somebody that you can marry. Just make me sick. Don't even get me started on that. I'd get thrown off of YouTube real fast. Brandy F. Notice the change isn't this year's or last year's date. I don't understand what you're asking there. Rick Huggard, did I hear Whitmer lost her emergency powers in Michigan? I know they took something away from her a couple of months ago. Did something else happen? Because if there's something recent, I haven't heard anything. That good. I mean, now that you take away all her powers, put her out and let her live the rest of her time in Lansing in the doghouse. Let's see. Robert Winslow, if they go to digital, will it affect the stock market? I don't see it. I mean, the stock market, for all intents and purposes, is all digital. Okay, because the brokerage, you can't walk into your broker's house and pay him in cash. Okay, it's got to be a check. So I mean, it's everything's done electronically anyway anymore. Obviously not the floor traders, but I mean, any of us buying something, you go on to your Ameritrade or your Charles Schwab account, or, if you got a broker with Merrill or whoever it would be, it's all done electronically anyway. So, dollars are never crossing anybody's hands. I don't think that would affect the market whatsoever in regards to how the market operates. How it would affect the stock market in, asset value, that's going to be an interesting one, because again, it all depends on how they value if we went to a Fed coin. If it's 1 for 1, it probably wouldn't affect it too much. They may say, hey, the market may go up because it'll reduce the amount of cost, because we all know it costs more 3 cents to make a penny. So, at that rate. But I think it's a little too early to tell that one yet. Rooster, I must be the odd duck. I'm all in on cash. I mean, we all have. Trust me, I've got cash put back too, like a good little prepper that I am. But yes, I still pay my bills and stuff. Just get online. Paycheck goes in the bank. I pay the bills. The rest of it sits in cash. And I mean, that's about it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to my, driving around town going, okay, let me go to the phone store and pay my phone bill. Let me go to the electric company. It's like, nope, tap, 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 tap. 5 minutes later, I'm done paying bills. Used to drive me nuts even buying stamps. Now we don't even do that. So, let's see. Frank Grant, as a joke, someone should get ordained and start a religion just to hand out medical exemptions for the jab. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody's already done that. I did, how well it flies, I have no idea. We're the the Church of the Holy Sepulchre of Gummy Bears. I don't know. Uh, it would, you could probably, I mean, hell, you can find some online pastor or priest that'll marry you. Why couldn't you find something like that? Whether or not it's going to be accepted by a company, is a different story. But Daily Prepper, they can scan your cash also. Most ATMs scan the serial numbers. Okay, I didn't know about ATM scanning the serial numbers, but considering I use an ATM maybe 2 or 3 times a year, I'm not overly concerned about that. And again, it's because if I go out with friends or whatever and I pay for dinner and they give me cash back or whatever, you just build up a little cash that way. It's just, I just put all that away and the hell with it. So, because rarely, if I go to a store, yes, and I know what you're gonna say, well, they can track your debit card. Yep, well, they can. Okay, I get that. If I can track it in an online statement, God knows anybody else can. Neo Martyrdom Pinball, is Bitcoin really worth all the hoot? Like, is it a waste or should I invest? I don't like Bitcoin. Okay. I'm not going to make any bones about it. I think it is a fool's errand. Okay. It is backed by absolutely nothing. Okay. It's just, and I know people say, oh, the dollar's backed by nothing. Right. Okay. A dollar's at least backed by the full faith and credit, whatever that's worth, of the United States. Bitcoin is nothing. Okay. Power goes out, Bitcoin is worthless. That's it. You can't do anything. But the big thing that I don't like about Bitcoin is the volatility of it. It was $7,000 a year ago. It was $60,000 a couple of months ago, and now it's about $40,000, and it was down in the 20s here about 3 weeks ago. So if you've got cojones the size of Texas, and you can handle going, hey, you know what? I put $10,000 in Bitcoin, and guess what? I lost $5,000 in the first 3 days. If you can stomach that kind of risk, maybe you want to play it, because there is upside to it if you get lucky. There's also a huge risk and downside. I'm too damn old to risk losing what I've saved. So, I'm staying safer. That's just me. Okay. I'm telling you, I think it's a fool's errand. You're 20 years old and think that the world's great and Bitcoin's the future. Hey, take a flyer on it. That's, but if you lose, if you make money, cool. I'm happy. Okay. If you lose, don't go crying to anybody going, oh, gee, why'd I ever do that? Because a lot of people said, don't. Brandy F. and strip poker is cheap. Okay. Yeah, we'll stay out of that one. Okay. Yeah, if they start going digital clothing, we got problems. Neo Martyrdom, yes, I'm saying I'm against Bitcoin. And I got to find where we were because it just shot me to the bottom again. Well, let's see. Well, it can only go up this far, so okay. It's got to be. There you go, Mary. My prep went to a yard sale and got driveway salt for $1 and garden tools. That's awesome. Okay. Driveway salt, if you're up north, certainly going to need that. Anything you get in the way of hand tools or whatever it is, somebody's getting rid of hand tools. It's like, no, I want them. I don't care. You got 6 shovels. Great. Have 6 shovels because handles break. Tips on spades break. Little hand shovels for the garden. I go through one of those every couple of years because I'll get under a rock, bend it, snap the handle. So, Robert Bates, Pinball, did I hear correctly that the World Monetary Fund is holding all Afghanistan money in limbo because the Taliban is not a legal government? I have not heard that. I did hear that our government froze all the Afghan gold, precious metals. You guys saw that $50 billion buy in gold the other day. There's a lot of talk on precious metals lately that big guys are starting to hoard some of this stuff. Okay. But I haven't heard that, but that wouldn't surprise me. Okay. Uh, let's see. Rooster, we left quickly. Biden heard Joe made pudding. There you go. Uh, Mark Chesser, the equipment that was left was assigned to the Afghan army, not our equipment. Well, yes, okay, if we sent it over there, it's still our equipment. Even if it was assigned to the Afghan army, you would see how fast that went. If it's still assigned to the Afghan army literally no longer exists. So what is this? Free game now and the bounties of war, maybe? So Dusty, ideas of what will happen at midterms. Well, okay. Last I read is the Democrats are expecting a bloodbath, that they're going to get crushed. There was, 97% of congressional aides figure that the Democrats are going to lose both houses of Congress. Now, as good as that sounds, here's the problem. Who's beating the Democrats? If it's just a rhino, what does it matter? Okay, sure. If let's say one seat in the Senate flips, okay, and the Republicans are up 51-49, okay. That means we have a new Speaker of the House who would be a Republican. Does it mean that the Republicans are going to get anything done? No, as long as you got Mitt Romney, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins. I mean, pick any of these other ones who are rhinos. The Democrats, for all intents and purposes, still have a big majority because, they may say they're Republicans, but they are not conservatives. Randy, thank you for the super chat. They don't vote on a conservative basis. How many of them are voting now and say, "Oh, bring all these Afghans in"? How many are voting? "Oh, let all the southern border people come in"? I mean, this isn't just Democrats that are voting for this. This is Republicans. Okay. The infrastructure bill the other day, what was it? 16 Republicans signed on the infrastructure bill, even though 91% of it was Democrat pork. Okay. Payola time. Hey, here. Tell you what, we'll kick a couple $100,000 into your re-election campaign. Just vote with us, just so we can go on vacation. Okay, that works. It's exactly what's going on. Okay. I think both houses will flip. It's going to be more important to see if we get true conservatives in there or rhinos. Daily Prepper, calling him Potato Joe is a slam against potatoes. Yes, I know. But it's a spinoff on the word of POTUS, so potatoous. So that's about it, Elizabeth Nelson, I just received a message from the Weather Channel stating 10 people in Tennessee died from drowning. Praying for everyone affected. Okay, we have got a lot of rain. We got about 6 inches of rain this week. I think it was probably some of the outer bands of Tropical Storm Fred or whatever it is. But we had some good heavy rains here. But if they drowned, I mean, it's got to be in one of the lakes. I mean, I can't think it. I mean, we had rain, yeah, but I mean, not enough that it wasn't hurricanes here or something. Barbara Dara, do I think we will have a propane shortage this winter? I'm in Oklahoma. I don't see. This is the thing. I was talking to Mrs. P the other day, because about this propane heater we got. I mean, my propane tank is, I think, at about 65% right now. And I said to her, should I top off the propane tank? So you guys know, a topped off propane tank is about 80%. Okay, you don't fill it full because it's gas, it expands or can expand. But we were thinking about it, and I was looking to see. Now, I haven't called. I'll probably do that this week. I don't know how soon it's going to be delivery-wise, and I don't know what it's going to cost. I've got 65%, so I'm not overly concerned with it right now. That's nearly 3/4 full. But Can they deliver it? Do they have it? What's the cost of get? Because I do expect the price of all fuels, especially heating fuels, to go up here in the next couple of months. Okay. Whether or not there's any sort of shortage on it, that I don't know. But, we know the price goes up. It always goes up for the winter. So I don't know if there's going to be a shortage. Jordan Paul, what are my thoughts on tiny homes? That I don't fit in them. How about that? Okay, I'm 6'8". I do not fit in tiny anything. It's funny, when I was at the post office today, I'm in my truck, and I've got a Super Cab F-150. Okay, and this guy pulls up next to me in a smart car, and I just looked at him, and I'm like, I could fit that whole damn thing in the bed of my truck. It's like, I'm going to wait for you to back out and see you on the road there, because if I back out, you're just a speed bump for me. But yeah, tiny homes, for the right person, sure. I'll give you this. Would I rather own a tiny home and a little piece of land, or live in an apartment? I'd rather own the tiny home 10 times out of 10. Okay. Because inevitably it's going to be cheaper, but you own the land. The land is the most important thing to me, because if you've got the land, what you do with it is, you have infinite ideas. If you're in an apartment, you got to figure out where you put holes in the wall. Okay. So, if a tiny home is what fits your budget and it gets you out of an apartment and gets you a piece of land, do it, because it's ownership. There's ownership. I will always say ownership is better than renting. And I know people will disagree with me. All right, guys, that is it. It is 10 o'clock. I do know for a fact North Shore is going on today, because he said in his sauerkraut video he will see you on the live stream tonight. So I will let you all go over there. Please check out his cabbage video. I will try to bounce over to North's live stream here in a little bit. I just got to clean up a couple of things on here, so I'll probably be over there in 10-15 minutes and hang out with y'all over there. Have a great Saturday evening, guys. Thank you all for stopping by, and we will see y'all in the morning. Pinball out.